So in 1968, what was going on? You were on a science path.
I had completed my bachelor's degree from IIT Madras. I'm an electronics engineer by profession.
Wow. And that's the fancy school, right?
There were only 4 IITs at that time when I joined. And these are the 4 best institutes in India for engineering. And so, thousands of people take that exam, very few get in. So I was very lucky. I don't know how I got in, but I got in. Because there were only 200 kids in our school and 200, so they only took 800 children out of the whole country. So there was exams and interviews and all that stuff. But luckily I got in. And then after that, my father went to Sant Kirpal Singh Ji Maharaj. All decisions were finally made by him. So in 1968, I got actually admission in many colleges. I got admission in Berkeley. And Berkeley was very big in those days. Because, even though there was no communication, but through the newspapers you read. So I wanted to go to Berkeley actually. Because, you heard Berkeley because you didn't hear that much. The only thing you knew about those times was Indy 500, Cassius Clay, who became Muhammad Ali later on. In India, those are the only things you learned. And I had heard about Berkeley. So I had admission somewhere in New Jersey, in Chicago, and a few places. So my father took me and we went to a grandfather. And from my heart, I wanted to go to Berkeley. And so when my father showed him my admission in different areas, so my grandfather says, we will send Raji to, they call me Raji, in India we always have a pet name, so Raji. We'll send Raji to Chicago. So my heart sank and I wanted to say something. So my father puts a finger on his mouth. Said, don't say anything. You don't have to say anything, just say it. Just listen, okay? As a young man, you say, I was going to first say, I want to go to Berkeley. But my father said this, so I didn't say anything. So I went to Chicago. And I went to what is called Illinois Institute of Technology in Chicago. And so I did graduate work there and got a master's degree in electronics engineering. And then I worked for about 20 years in 3-4 different companies, doing all kinds of research in communications. And actually, I worked for Bell Labs for about 11 years in the end, yeah. So
that's the
part of AT&T, yeah.
Top of the line.
Yeah. So I have an engineering background, so I have that scientific, training as I went forward.